Welcome. I'm a disembodied voice. My name's Paul. I'm a Profound Decisions crew member. In character, I'm a civil servant overseeing the Imperial elections, and out of character, I help advertise Profound Decisions by running kit fairs and festivals and the like. And what this is going to be is a short tour around the Anvil Field. Now, Profound Decisions doesn't allow filming during time in. So hopefully, yes, it's 4 o'clock, it's 2 hours till time in on the Friday before what we call E419, so the fourth event, our final event of 2019 autumn equinox. And because it's 360, of course, you can just look around and see what's going on. So hopefully you can see my hands as I kind of wave them around, so I will point at things. You'll just have to keep revolving around. So over here to my left, we can see God, that's the games operation desk, and you can see a huge queue, it's only just opened, and they're all busy collecting their player packs at the start of the event. It has all their coins and information about the character in. And also the referees are based in there as well, but you can get hold of referees elsewhere by finding someone with a radio or looking for someone with black and yellow. So I'm just going to walk around. Oh, so the queue as it goes up there, the very top there, that is, you'll see the white tent up there, is actually where our skirmishes kick off from. So if you monster a battle, you go up through there and get made up as an orc if you're monstering onto the battlefield. Obviously, if you're going up there as a player, you will be going up through the Sentinel Gate, which we'll see later in a few minutes. And behind me, if you swivel around, you'll see all the caterers. I'll try and stay relatively steady, or you're going to get very seasick very, very quickly revolving around. So let's go and have a look. So this is the outer character section. We're going to walk into what will be the IC field, the in-character field, in a couple of hours. So obviously at the moment there's still lots of cars on the field because they've still got 2 hours left before they have to be off the field. And I've completely forgotten my map, which I needed to bring to be able to tell you which nations are where. So that was very clever of me. So I'm walking down the main road here, and hopefully I'll be able to work out the nations as we go along. Well, let's just walk down the main strip to begin with. And as I said, obviously come time in at 6 o'clock, there will not be all of these cars on the field because everyone has to get them off by then. So it'll be completely in character, and you can only be in this part of the field at that point when you're in costume playing character. And as you look around at the moment, you can see that some people have already got their costume on ready to go and some haven't. So on our right here we have some traders. In fact, these traders here are mostly caterers on here, and then our left hand side is a couple of nations up there. And in fact, over there to my left you can see weapons check. So you have to have all your weapons checked before you can use them, and the weapons checkers will check them, and then they'll put a coloured rubber band on to show they've been done. And now as we move forward, we're going away from the caterers and we're going more into some of the traders. Up to my left we have what I call Trader Avenue, and you can see there's traders all up and left and right, so lots of things you can buy. And of course there's traders here down here on my right as well. Ahead of me you can see one of what we call the Red Caps. They're the logistical team that set up the tents and do the electricity and everything else as we're going along before the start of the event. So now we're approaching the end of some traders on the left and right. We have Moorish, which is one of the food traders there, and opposite them we have our tavern. So that is our tavern there. That's the only tavern on site that takes real money for alcohol. All the other taverns on site are run by players and will only take in-character money. Moving along to the end of the main strip, we can see here on my right we have the Senate. This is where all the senators gather, and they have Senate sessions regularly where they make constitutional changes to the empire. So it's one of the big levers of the game. And now we're at the crossroads. Ahead of me we have the woods, and in those woods is Navarre and the orcs. So let's go to my left. Here we go. So sorry about that. That'll make you a bit seasick there as we turn, and we'll walk up this way. So walking up here, what I've got ahead of me on the left is we have the academy. That's where all the children go. Well, they don't have to go there, so you don't have to take your children there, but it's where they can go. They absolutely love it. It's one of the unique selling points of the game is how much the kids absolutely love it. And there are 2 tests the children can do. There's the citizenship test. That allows them to create a full character once they understand the rules of the game and have passed that. And then you have the combat test that allows them to go on the battlefield And there's several other rules around that, like what age they have to be and so on. On my right there, that is actually one of our toilet blocks. As you see, we've made it light and look in character. On the left now we have the hub. So this is where I work as a civil service, and we're there to do kind of the kind of, we run the cogs of the game so you can be heroes of the Empire. And in the hub, it's a bit, I call it kind of like an in-character games operation desk. You can come in and ask us any questions, and we will help out where we can. It's where we do things like elections, and there's lots of posters on the wall. In fact, let's go in the hub. So let's turn around. I'm just going to pop in the hub. It will be empty at the moment. There's a new player meeting that will take place for new players at 5 o'clock, which is like an hour's time from now. There's already one that occurred at 2 o'clock. So basically it's now currently empty, but we're almost ready here. So here on my left we have what we call the citizens writing table, which is where you can write things. I've got a map over there. I've got Imperial Citizens Board. We've got a Senate board, so loads of information about the senators here. Right. On my right we have a table where we work as civil servants, and we have lots of exciting boxes here. This big corner over here is the legal department, is where the militia and the magistrates live. Over on the left we've got Synod, then we've got Bourse, and going all the way around we've got Conclave there, which is where all the majors are. Citizens Posting Board, where anyone can put notices up. The Cushion Office, where you can sit, and so on. So a big hub of information, and a place you can always go to ask information. And even if you ask us an out-of-character question, we'll be able to deal with it, because us civil servants, we're all crew. Right, and now we're going to go back out of this field into the next field. So this next field is where a couple of the big nations lie. Dawn and Wintermark are both in this next field. So, and they are two of the biggest nations. Dawn has a glory square that you can see ahead of me. That is where they do some fighting and tournaments. On the, you can see a couple of toilet blocks over there, and a road into the woods, which we're going back up to where the Imperial Orcs and Navarre are. Over on my left, this is the military council. We can go and have a look at the military council, Tamer, but because it's obviously 2 hours till time in, I suspect it's not already set up properly yet. But in here is where the generals meet. The generals are elected by the senators, they're all players, and where they will have their meetings. And you can see, oh, in fact, the posh table, which is where they do all their military manoeuvres, is not actually properly set up yet. But anyway, this will all be set up, and the generals will all be around here, and there's loads of little really nice posh army counters, and they all discuss battle tactics of how the Empire is going to protect itself, and that also decides what battles that they go on that you will deal with if you go as a player. So anyway, so as I said, up there is Dawn, and over there is Wintermark. Obviously, if you find this video helpful and useful, I will make more of them in future, so please let me know if it's good. If it's no good to you and you get a bit bored, then give me some advice on what 360 videos to do with Empire you might like me to do. And I think actually, as our first one, this might be a good point to stop now, so I'll finish it there. And as I say, you can talk to us via email. We've obviously got Facebook groups, or you can even see us at kit fairs. So with that, I'll sign off. Hi, Paul again. I just thought, actually, since I was working my way back through the field, I may as well do an extra bonus video. So I thought we'd have a quick look inside the Senate building, and also we'll have a quick look inside our bar as well. So here I am in the Senate building. This is completely full of senators during the game when we have Senate sessions, and what we call the peanut gallery over there to my right is completely full of spectators watching, because you're not allowed on the Senate floor unless you have in-character legal, you're legally allowed to, otherwise you get thrown off. So as you see, it's absolutely lovely in here. It's a brilliant building, and if you look around you can see all sorts. You can see the throne, which would normally be occupied by the Emperor, the Empress, except of course as of last event some mysterious stuff happened. We no longer have an Empress. We're back to having nobody on the throne, which means we can't actually pass certain Senate motions. It gets a little bit complicated. So this is the Senate building. Let's just walk out of here. I will walk past the high security rope. This is obviously still, as I said, it's still a little bit of time until time in. So there are still cars on site. We're going to walk around here. And then we're going back down the main strip here, and you'll see here on my left hand side one of the our bar. So this is our bar. As I said before, it's the only one on site that is allowed to take, is licensed to take money for alcohol. So if we just walk through here, hopefully we'll be fine in here. All the bar staff are going to look very confused at me, of course, because they've no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. But as you see, an absolutely beautiful bar, again completely in character once we get to time in at 6 o'clock. So we'll walk down to the end of the bar here, And we'll walk out the back door of the bar, in fact. So this is the back door. And obviously now I'm into some of the nations here, and obviously everyone's still setting up again. But I'm going to have difficulty working out what nations we've got down here. I have a suspicious feeling we have Varushka down here, and we'll have the League, and then it's going to get. Then I'm going to start getting worried as to which nations we've got. Once everyone's time in, it's much easier to work out what nations are really quickly, because they're all so distinctive. They're all kind of iconic. So Varushka's very easy to spot because they've got like fur trim, a lot of them, and they're kind of like Russian steppes and scary fairy tales. The League are all kind of posh Italian Renaissance style. I'm sure you've seen photographs on the internet, so you can see. And it's one of the points about the games, to try and choose a nation that actually you like the look and feel of. You know, it's not about min-maxing stats or anything, because they're all the same from that point of view. It's about what do you like the look of, what costume do you like to wear, and also, you know, what politics. There's some politics for some of the nations, and they're quite different. And you know, as my role as overseer of imperial elections, you know, I oversee all the senator elections for each nation, and every nation has a completely different way of electing their senators. So you take Urzen, for example, are full of mages, and it's all about how much magical influence you have. You take the Marches, which is up that way, and you'll see Marches are all, you know, they have the farming lands of the empire and the breadbasket of the empire. So for them, the senatorial elections are all about who has farms, who owns farms, who the yo people are, the stuff like that. So yes, it's definitely the Marches up that way, because I can recognise some of the figures there, but it's much easier once you're in game. And I think I'll finish this one here then. So again, thank you for watching. Let me know how I can improve them, and let me know what you want to see in future. Goodbye.